Hey Tech Math, here are the guided notes for 8.10. So what is budgeting? Well, budgeting is comparing your income to your expenses to determine how much cash you can spend on a regular basis. So we better know what each of those words mean. So what is income? Income is any money that you receive into your account. So this is a addition to an account that you would have. Expenses then are things you spend money on. Things also, actions you spend money on. Things you spend money on. You guys know what those are for the most part, but it's always nice to get a refresher. But there's two kinds of expenses, and you may have never heard of these. So a fixed expense is an expense that costs the same amount each month and are usually paid on a regular basis. So these are things like rent, utilities, water bills, Wi-Fi, electric, Netflix, things like that. And then your variable expenses represent your daily spending decisions. So these are going to be things like fast food, last minute decisions that you make, like going to the movies, spending a couple bucks on pizza, whatever it is. This could also be Netflix, though, because Netflix is not considered, something that everyone has on a regular basis. Some people will get it for a month, they'll get rid of it. I had people in college who would get it every other month. So it could be variable as well. It just depends on what is being paid on a regular basis versus things that aren't regular occurrences. So budgets can be done on a weekly, monthly, or a yearly basis. And it really just depends on the person. So the only example I have to give you is just to compare those things. So one of the keys to budgeting is organization. And a lot of people do this online, but you can also just do it on paper. So we're going to decide where each piece of information should go and then place that information in the table to determine the individual's end of month balance. So the first one is salary. That is an income. That is being paid to them. And the amount is $42,800. Student loans are going to be about $200 a month. So that is going to be an expense. $200. I actually need to go back and fix this because I forgot about this. This person is not making $42,800 a month. They are making that in a year. So if we want to figure out how much they're making in a month, we have to do a little legwork and divide that number by 12 to see what their monthly amount is. We're going to assume this is a monthly amount. So 3,567, and we'll even round it to the nearest $1 just so it's a little bit easier for us. All right, we did our salary, we did our student loans, we did our rent. Rent is something that occurs on a monthly basis and it costs money, so that would be what kind of expense? Fixed. Very good. We then have an income tax refund. Hey, that's exciting. That is not a regular thing. Income tax, let's say that. It's $150. That's only one time, but we're going to bring it in as an income in this case, even though it's only happening once. Babysitting income. Babysitting. They made $1,200. Very nice. Wi-Fi. Ooh, that's going to cost you $55 a month. Phone bill. Phone. Gonna cost you $45.70 a month. I got a cheap phone plan. Water and sewer, that is an expense. That is going to be, it's gonna run you $25.60. It's a low water bill. Gas and oil, that's $1,800 per year, but per month, it's only about $150. So gas, it's about $150. Car repair, maintenance, that's a big one. Especially if you have an older vehicle, it's probably going to be a lot more. So this month they had to pay $800. Shucks. Okay, groceries, $100. You could put food, I guess, but I'm going to put groceries. Your insurance, that costs you $12.62 a year, but just this month it's only going to cost you the low price of $105. And we're actually going to round it to 105 because I don't want to deal with decimals. So insurance, all insurance. And then I actually ran out of spaces here. I didn't plan my table well, but I've got power and light that costs $55, and I've got that last $4,000. I'm going to put them both under miscellaneous, just so that I have it. So what is my estimated total income? Well, I'm going to take the amount that I made from my job, plus that tax, plus my babysitting. Oof, I only made $4,970. Seems like a lot, but I promise it's not. Watch these expenses. $200, $600, $55, $45.70, $25.60, $150, $800, $100, $105, $55, $4,000. All right, let's take off that $4,000. We won't be able to afford it because we already know that our miscellaneous expenses are going to be a problem. So for right now, we're going to assume I have no miscellaneous expenses. So at the end of it, I actually have a total expenses of $75,830. Now let's look at this. This seems really crazy, right? But let's take a look at this and see what happened here. They only had an income of $4,917, but with things like car maintenance that they maybe didn't expect, the random miscellaneous that would have costed them $4,000 more, a really high rent, and those loans, it all added up, and they ended up being about $3,000 in debt. So you can see how budgeting, if you don't know these are going to come up, if you don't expect these and you don't prepare for them, how this could be a really serious issue. So budgeting can bring a lot of this to your attention. So if you have any questions about budgeting, it is a lot more complicated than this, but this is your 7-minute version.